Hello, welcome to Dr. RS channel. This is Dr. Riffat Sadiq, and today I'm going to talk about also a little bit of how important the labels on the food items are and how important it is to understand these labels. So understanding the labels are very important. I'm going to talk few more items today, and I'll just tell you how some most important things on the food label. So number one is fat. So you will see that on the labels, they will say fat, what percentage fat is in this food, and how much, you are taking in when you are eating that item. So I want to talk about what is fat. Actually, fat is the one which actually everybody knows fat, but we need to have fat also a little bit. Again, we need to have a balanced meal. We need to have 60% of your meal should have carbohydrate, 30% fat, 30% protein. And along with that, you need to have vitamins and you need to have minerals. So we need fat. When people say, oh, we cannot have fat, absolutely no. You need fat to protect in your system. So the fat will protect your heart, fat will protect your intestines. It's a padding. So we need fat, but we cannot have the fat too much. If you have the fat too much, then that fat particles will start building in your blood vessels, in the arteries, and also too much fat everywhere. You will start gaining weight. All these extra, sometimes we'll see along with the muscles, belly fat, everywhere you will have the lot of fat, which can actually harmful, which is a very, very, very dangerous thing, because you can have heart attack, you can have high blood pressure because of that. And I've seen people sometimes having the even more problems when they are building those fats and everywhere, in and out. Outside sometimes we can see, but sometimes inside it's hard for us to visualize where this fat is and what this fat is doing for you. So you need to be extremely cautious what the label is saying, how much fat is in that particular food item which you are eating. Number two is cholesterol. So actually it is also a fat, but you hear more, instead of fat, you hear more of cholesterol. We call it lipoprotein, low density lipoprotein. That is the type of the particles we call it. Cholesterol has 4 different types of version of cholesterol. Total cholesterol, then low density, very low density, and then high density. So we need to be very, very careful how much cholesterol is that, because if we are taking too much of cholesterol, it's going to affect your heart, and everyone knows that how important heart is. If we have a heart problem, we will have the whole body is into trouble, because heart is the one which is pumping blood to all the other organs, including heart itself. So if our heart is not doing a good job, we are in trouble. So we need to keep an eye on our heart. To keep an eye on our heart, we need to keep an eye on cholesterol. Sodium. Again, we need sodium also, but not too much. So we need to watch how much sodium we are taking. What sodium does is it actually causes high blood pressure. So it retains the water, and it also, you will gain weight also. If you are taking too much of sodium, we are gaining weight also, because it's retaining the water. So sodium is also, you need to watch. Even if my mom actually was a patient of high blood pressure, so she would not take any sodium at all. Literally, she will wash the food. Sometime we will cook the food, and then she will take a piece of meat, she will literally wash it and eat it. And then she was like really very, very careful with her diet, and she lived a long life without having a stroke, without having a heart attack, because she was managing two things. She was managing sodium and she was managing her stress level. So that she actually did a good job on that. It's without sodium, you will have no taste in the meal. You know, yesterday my sister cooked the food item almost without the salt, and it was hard to eat because there is no taste. We end up eating it because we have to have healthy meal. She actually really made us eat all that food without the sodium because she said, if you eat this, you will have high blood pressure. So we have to watch sodium. The next one is carbohydrates. Everyone knows that sugar is carbohydrate. So there are some, we can go into another lecture with a long list of different type of sugar. So, but generally you will see on the label and understanding of label that what carbohydrate is. Carbohydrates are sugar. And what sugar does if we take too much of that? It does diabetes. So you need to watch how much carbohydrates, what type of carbohydrates we are going to take. Then, you know, complex one and uncomplexed one, and there is like a whole list of carb. But generally speaking, again, we can eat everything, but we have to eat little. That's the key. Fiber is extremely important for us to keep our digestive system. If we don't have a fiber, we will have constipation, and if we have constipation, it will affect our appetite, it will affect our whole body. So constipation is just like you are having the things in your system which should be in the garbage, right? So you don't want to make your body as a garbage can. So imagine how important it is to have a regular bowel. So every day or every other day, whatever your body is. So bowel movement is extremely important. People usually don't pay attention to that. They just kind of think that it's not important. But trust me, having a good bowel movement can also be helpful for your weight management. That's extremely important. So fiber is something which has to be in your diet, and it is also good for your weight control. Protein. Protein is one of the really very important ingredient which we should be taking every day. And as I mentioned earlier, 30% of your plate should be protein, 30% should be fat, and 60% should be carbohydrate. So we need protein. We need protein for our muscles, our strengthening of our body. It's extremely important that we have to have enough protein in our system to keep our body going. It gives us energy. It gives us, all these muscles, good muscles. So we need to have a protein. I think that's about it for today on the understanding the label. And I hope this is helpful for you. Thank you for watching.